Mary, I'm about to make my vlog. These glasses are cute.
Yeah, so cute.
I gotta figure out where I want to record today and how I want to record. Yeah, I don't really know what I want to do here.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
Okay. Hey.
I'm not feeling the background. And I do want it to be, y'all, you guys, I'm not really feeling the background. I still want to make it, and I want to do a good job at this video today. So, do you know what mommy's doing today? So, mommy's doing a life update for her channel. The people want to know what I've been up to. The people want to know what's going on. The people want to know, and the people are nosy. And you know what? I ain't hating. I ain't judging because I be nosy too. I definitely get nosy. So guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Laquasha. Let me get into French.
Just a step.
Yes, I make videos, all types of videos. I'm a mommy, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a survivor of domestic violence, I'm a survivor of SA, which is sexual abuse. I am an activist. I am who I am, and I'm showing up. And I make videos on like lifestyle, faith, and yeah. And this is actually a new segment to my channel. Life updates are a new segment to my channel. I decided that it would be a good idea. What are you doing? Yeah. This is why you can't be with me when I do this. You're gonna have to Mary. Okay. Cut. And we're back, you guys. And if you notice, the setup is going to be a little bit different because I just couldn't work with having my daughter, you know, in the video with me. And PSA, I don't consider this channel a family channel. This is my main channel, and right now my only channel. Definitely maybe later in life I might decide to have a family channel if I have a husband or if I have a bunch of kids and I feel good enough to share my life and do that. I know there's a lot of people on YouTube that have family channels, and I do realize there are a lot of creators that started off as individual creators, but once they started to have kids, they turned their channel into a family friendly channel. And there's a lot of controversy when it comes to creators. There's a lot of controversy when it comes to family channels. So I'm not against it, but there are some pros there and cons. There's some negative things. Obviously, my daughter is pretty young. She's 3 years old. She'll be 4 soon. And she loves the camera. She's not opposed to being on camera. She feels comfortable. But then again, I just feel like I want to give her the ability to be a kid and enjoy her life before she becomes a content creator. I do allow my daughter to be in some of my videos. I do allow her to make appearances, but as you can see, like, I eventually kind of push her away and let her do her own thing because this is about me, not about her. And if she decides to grow up wanting to make content as a part-time job or a full-time, that's on her. But as of right now, I feel comfortable just doing YouTube on my own. And this is something that I've always wanted to do. And I'm doing it. So, yeah. Okay, y'all. Let me reintroduce myself again. My name is Laquasha Stith. I go by Lin Laquasha here on this channel. I'm a mom, a content creator, activist, entrepreneur, a survivor of DV, and a survivor of SA. I am a survivor of childhood abuse and trauma. Now, it took me a long time to accept my past. It's taken me a long time to process what I've gone through. So I might say these words very lightly and they might come off lightly to you, but just know there was work done behind those few words. It's not just a title. It's my life. And I've done the work to get to the calm, happy, content, mature place that I am in right now. And I look at my past as a mirror, and I look at my past as perspective, and I look at my past with hindsight. So, on my channel, this is a faith-based channel. I make content around lifestyle, faith, inspiration. Lifestyle meaning vlogs, inspiration as in self-talks and just self-development videos, Okay, I'm looking at my last life update, y'all. And I talked about a lot here. We went over my consciousness level in 2019. We went over my current journey, my life lessons, and my goals for 2023. We went over my rebirth in Christ. We went over a little bit of my childhood trauma. We went over the depression I experienced with online drama and warfare and toxic individuals and relatives. We went over my boundaries and my personality changes. We went over a lot. And life updates are new to my journey, and they are new to my channel. And today I want to let you know how my October went and how my November is going. You guys know now I drop every 5th month. So let's go back, to October, November. So, y'all, I turned 24. I let go of my year 23 on October 7th. I let go of my year 23. I'm now entering chapter 24, y'all. I'm 24 years old now. Yay. My birthday was pretty chill. It was pretty laid back. I've been spending time with my friends. I've been spending time with my daughter. I enjoyed a little cake for my birthday. I had a little ice cream cake. Maybe I can insert some pictures for you guys. But yeah, I am now in year 24. I'm in chapter 24. I'm really, really excited about this chapter. Being an October baby is so weird because my birthday is right toward the end of the year. But then again, my birthday is at the beginning of the school year. So being an October baby is something. It is something. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but I heard that October babies, they live the longest because the way our birthdays are set up, it seems like we are living longer. We're living a longer life expectancy, or we're living a long life. I don't even know. I don't even remember where I saw that, but yeah, I need to do some research on that because I'm like, it always seems like my birthday takes forever to get here, but when it's there, it comes back around really quick. Like, it's really quick for me. That's my experience. But my mindset for my birthday now is about rebirthing. You cannot choose where you came from. You cannot choose, you know, your name. You cannot choose your birthday. You can't choose the time you were born. All of those things were chosen for you. Your birth mom, your birth father, your place of birth, all of that, your childhood. Those are all things that are out of our control. You know, the place our parents decide to raise us, how our parents decide to raise us, who is around us. All things that we do not have any control over as children. So, as an adult, now we can choose who we want to be around. Now we can choose how we would like to grow. We can choose now how we would like to develop. You know, we now have the ability to have control over our lives. And isn't that a blessing? It is a blessing. And well, I know some people are like, oh my God, all the bills that but no, I don't care about the bills. I don't care about the expenses. I'm going to handle that business. I love being an adult. A lot of you guys hate adulting, but I love it. The fact that I get to choose who I get to be around, who I get to spend my time with, like, that's a blessing. And when you grow up in a dysfunctional environment, when you don't have any boundaries and you're being controlled by people who don't know the Lord, or people who don't have a good sense of self or moral compass, that your world is just messed up. Your world is a mess. It's chaotic. So I'm just blessed and I'm happy to reach year 24 and to no longer be in a chaotic environment, in a chaotic space. Now, I know for a fact that I cannot complain or be mad about my upbringing for the rest of my life. At some point of time, I have to take it into my own hands and say, I am not what happened to me. I'm not going to let my past dictate my future in a negative way. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to do my best to mature and accomplish the goals so that when I am successful, the goal is to become successful. The goal is to, because you can't be mad at your mother and your father for the rest of your life. You just have to get up. You have to hustle. You have to make your money. You have to form new family systems. You have to just move on. And that's what I'm doing, and that's what I've been doing. And I'm really happy with the mental space that I'm in. I'm really happy with my mentality. I'm really happy with my personality. There are some things about myself that I wish I could change, and there's some things about me that, could be. I know I still have some rough edges that need to be, smoothed out. Like, I am aware that I still have some rough edges um, that can definitely be fixed and smooth and all of that stuff. I'm aware of that. But the journey continues. The journey continues. Oh, something else. So coming up this November, I have my high school reunion. I was thinking about going to the high school reunion. This will be my 5-year high school reunion, y'all. 5-year high school reunion. And I really, really, really want to go. But the thing is, I moved. I feel like I'm still in the beginning of my journey. I moved from my hometown when I was pregnant with my daughter. I moved when I was only 19. And to think that was only 5 to 4 years ago. Wow. My daughter's about to be 4 years old. Oh my gosh. It's wild. I'm coming up on my 5-year high school reunion, and I live in another city. I'm in the same state, obviously. I'm in the same state, but I'm definitely a few miles away. I'm a good 200 miles away from my hometown, and I just don't see myself being able to make that. But it would have been nice to make some positive memories at that high school reunion and connect with people from my childhood who remember another version of me. So, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I just feel like I've done a lot of work, and I've made a lot of progress, and I've done a lot of work. I feel like I'm ready to move closer to home because of the work that I've done and whatnot. But then again, I don't want to move back to my hometown because I don't want to be, in the place where I'm stagnant. Like, I have no idea if my hometown has anything to offer to me. Like, the same way, I'm not sure if my toxic relatives, have anything to offer me other than pain and sadness and backstabbing. I think a high school reunion is a good time for reflection, and it's a good time for reflection. But I just don't see myself. I don't know if it's a good idea. Yeah. I've always been the type of person where I felt like my home wasn't really my home. I never felt at home. Wherever I went, I never felt at home. I just felt like I was living someone else's dreams. I was living someone else's reality, which I was. I was living someone else's reality and someone else's plan. So my home never really felt like home. I'm hearing about people from my hometown passing away from overdoses. I'm I'm hearing that I'm just not hearing good news. And like, what does my hometown have to offer? What does my hometown have to offer? What does it have to offer for someone with a child? What? I just don't know if there's anything to offer for me. And I don't know if being back in that environment would make me take steps backward. I would love to stay I would love to take steps forward. I would love to help the community that I was raised in. I would love to do positive things in my community. I just I don't believe that I'm equipped enough, and I'm not my best enough to do so. Maybe in a few years, I'll be able to give back to my community and give back to those I was around. If so, if I already have my degree, if I already have my master's degree or my doctorate, or if I have something that gives me the ability to give back, that's the only way I'm moving back to my hometown. I want to be able to be an asset, not a liability, or be too close to the liabilities. And I don't say this because I think I'm better than, or I want to be better than at all. I don't That's not the mindset. Even though that's how, low life people think about it. They think, "Oh my gosh, she just thinks, or he thinks that they're better than us." And da, da, da. No, no, no. It's not that I want to be better than you to flex on you. I do want to be better than you so that I can help you and help the community. I feel like I did a lot of negativity, and I was maybe a part of the turmoil, and I feel like maybe I was a part of the problem growing up in my hometown. I feel like every single body was in some shape or form a part of the problem, right? And I'm mature enough to admit that, yeah, I definitely could have been the problem. I could have definitely been a problem child because I was traumatized. I mean, but then again, I'm not gonna put that much pressure on myself because I was just a kid, and I was just doing the best that I could do in a situation that was dysfunctional. So it's a lot to think about, but if I do move back to my hometown or closer that way, where I'm in a 50-mile radius, I want to bring positivity, and I want to bring healing, and I want to bring resources to my community. I just want to be an ally to my community in any shape or form. And I know by me just being myself and showing up as I am, people are going to want to seek help. People are going to want to do the right thing. I know. I would really love if someone could tell me, like, what is in the hometown? Like, what is there to do? What are the positive things going on? What are they? So that I can have an idea of what I could possibly be walking into if I decide to be someone who's working my way from the bottom and building myself up in that area. What is there to offer for a minority like me? Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about my motherhood journey again, because this is something that I feel confident in, and this is something that I feel passionate in. So let's switch gears. So I think I'll tell a little bit of my birth story. So when I was 19, I got pregnant with my daughter, and I decided to make a career change to help her life and help my life, because I've always been very ambitious and I've always wanted to elevate myself. So the moment I knew that being a mother was something that was going to happen for me, I knew, like, okay, it's time for me to get my stuff together. It's going to happen. I cannot abort. I cannot put this child through adoption. Like, this is going to be my baby. This is going to be my responsibility. My first pregnancy never made it to full term. And that was a decision, and that was also trauma. But when the universe and when someone else's desires once again manifested into my reality, I decided to finally pray about it. I prayed about it, and I made the decision that motherhood was going to happen for me. Motherhood, for me, has been a roller coaster. I got pregnant twice in 2019. And only that second time was I able to get confirmation that I'm going to have this baby. And I should have this baby. So when I realized that abortion can't happen, adoption can't happen, the only logical thing for me to do is to love this child that's in me, instead of think about it as a problem or think about it as a decision. We live in a new time where whenever you get pregnant, it's like you have a decision, when really you don't. You don't. So being a mother has been it's been a rock hard place for me. Motherhood has been a rock and a hard place for me, because my daughter wasn't something that I wanted. It was something that the father wanted. And I was made into a single mother at 19 with no explanation, with no warning. He never told me that He ejaculated in me, for one. And then he never told me that he was gonna abandon our child and not take responsibility for our child. So, it's a big one. Being 19, being pregnant without knowing it, and then being abandoned without realizing it. It was a lot. I've been 4 years into this whole journey, 4 years into this journey. And there have been plenty of times in my motherhood journey where I contemplated, abortion. There's been times that I contemplated adoption. There's been times that I contemplated suicide. There has been times that my mind went into dark places in motherhood that no one really talk about, because the situation was so overwhelming for me. In the way, I would just say, yeah, the situation was very, very overwhelming for me. Like I said, 4 years into it, and I got it figured out. When I was in my second to third trimester, I made myself a beautiful vision board when I finally had time to think and be by myself, and I made a plan for my life and for my daughter's life. Even before realizing that I was abandoned and this baby was going to be neglected, before I could even really grasp that concept, I made a plan for myself and for my daughter. And just looking at her, I'm over there. It's wild to me. Just looking at her over there, I'm like, because times like this is one of the many, this is one of the few times that I get to soak in just where I am and how far I've come. When I podcast and have moments like these where I can really grasp my reality, I'm just like, wow. Mm. Mm. Motherhood is something I'm very confident in because I believe in there's no such thing as a perfect mother, just a mother that is trying to grow. There's no perfect mom in this world. There's no such thing as a perfect mom, just a mom that is willing to take accountability and to grow. Many times I've thought about adoption. Even this year, there have been times in 2023, I'm like, let me call that agency and just call them and find a parent and find a family, because the drama is just, is it worth it? Is the drama worth it? Yeah. It's okay as a mother to have feelings of resenting, and missing your old life. It's normal to be angry. If you're a single mother, it's normal to be angry. It's normal to have mixed emotions, especially when you're in my situation. It's very normal to have mixed emotions and not know which way to go. Luckily for me, I just feel like the Father has made the situation a lot easier for me. Oh, I actually have a paternity test coming up next week, y'all. The Father told the courts that, he doesn't believe that our daughter is his. So he has a paternity test. And then after the paternity test, then we have another scheduled court date for him him and I to have a hearing about our case, which is crazy. Yeah, so I have a hearing coming up sometime in December, and then actually next week we have another paternity test because he didn't show up for the last one. But you see this, it's been a mess, but this is exactly why, like, making decisions have been easy for me. Like, when the father is hot and cold, and he feels this way one day and he feels that way the next day, it's like, oh, he tells you that he loves you, he misses you, and that he's healing and that he's not ready. And then you're like, okay, maybe I'll wait for him, maybe. And then the next day he curses you out, he's telling you that he will hurt your daughter and that he will hurt you. Then it's like, now you're making it easier for me. But I don't know, I just feel like my motherhood journey is something that I've been confident in, because like recently I've been able to have confidence in, because I just know that God is going to figure it out for me. God is going to work it out, and I had to realize that even though the situation is negative, I am still a child of God. I was a star. Like, I am a child of God. My children are children of God. Sometimes we get affected, our energies get affected by our environment and who's around us. And we also get affected by someone else's manifestations. You guys know what manifestations are. You guys know what what is it called? Oh, sex magic and love spells are. There are people in the universe that will literally perform sex magic and do things to manifest you. And if you are not in a good covenant with God, those type of energies can really, really affect you, right? It can throw you out of balance, making their plans more successful than the plans that God has for you. This is why it's so important to stay close to God and stay grounded with God on a day-to-day basis. Like, prayer and delivering yourself on a day-to-day basis is so important. Because I'm like, if I were in a better covenant, and if I had a stronger relationship with God in 2019, the enemy would have never found an opening in my life and used that for their gain. And yes, I consider my child's father the enemy, because he's not someone who's aligned with God. He's not someone who's a follower of Christ. He's not someone who is under the covenant of God or in the kingdom of heaven. He lives a totally different lifestyle than those who are Christian. He's like not a good person. He's definitely the enemy. Even the enemy and people who believe in law and attraction can win. And even the people who believe in the law of attraction are bad people. If you guys know anything about the law of attraction, you guys know that no matter what person you are, you can still attract. You can be a bad or good person, and the law of attraction will still work in your life. Did you know that? So I just feel like I'm at a really good place of accepting things for as it is. I just have to be more accountable with God and be more serious when it comes to my relationship with God, so that no more manifestations of negativity will come into my life. And I pray that over my life daily. I rebuke that is anything that is not of God. And that's a whole nother story in itself, y'all. I feel so secure in motherhood, and I feel so secure in my relationship with my daughter that no matter what happens in this world, she will forever know how much I love her. She will forever know how much I try to accommodate her father and accommodate her and love the both of them. I never allow my feelings toward him or his abuse toward me to mess up my relationship with my daughter. No, I've always made sure I created a secure attachment between myself and my daughter. Always. And there are still things that, regardless of how good of a mother you are, your children are always going to have traumas. Like, every parent is bound to mess their kid up in some shape or form. And the goal is just, the goal is literally to just keep them as blessed and keep them as normal and to keep them as amazing and to keep them as healthy as possible, because when they grow up, they're going to come back to you and they're going to tell you that something that you did traumatized them. Okay, it's life. It's life, whether that's in a negative or a positive way. Our children are going to come to us and be like, that really messed me up, mom, that really messed me up, dad. So I digress. I feel really comfortable knowing that I've literally exalted myself. I've literally pushed myself to my limits so that I can be the best mommy, that I can be the best baby mama. And God knows the work that I've done to love him, to love my children. I'm very secure in motherhood. I've always been very smart. I've always thought things out and I've always had a pure heart through this entire motherhood process. And that's I'll say that's just my life, and I also pray that for you. I hope that you guys also, I pray that all my listeners and all my viewers may have a good heart, and I pray that their hearts may be cleansed of any negativity or evil in their hearts, in the name of Jesus. And I hope that you guys are able to say the same thing when it comes to your kids and your parenthood and motherhood journey. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm the best mom in the world and I'm so perfect, because that's unrealistic. I am perfectly imperfect, y'all. And I can say at the same time that I'm perfect, but perfectly imperfect, because there is no such thing as a perfect parent. Only a parent that takes accountability, only a parent that has the ability to grow and learn. The only difference between a perfectly imperfect parent and an imperfect parent is one is actually taking accountability for their actions. One is actually trying to grow and communicate, And I know it might be hard for some of you guys to hear, like, abortion, adoption, no. And it is what it is. It is what it is. Life happens. We all come across these situations. Even children of God, children and women and men who identify with being a child of God have made mistakes, have done abortions or adoption. And it's because the world that we live in make it hard for us to first seek the kingdom and know, okay, this might be a blessing and not a curse. So that's my motherhood journey, y'all. And a lot of you guys would have never known that I've known my child's father since I was a toddler, since I was my daughter's current age. Yeah, I met him when we were kids, and he chased me just like he chases everybody else, apparently. But he chased me, and apparently he loved me for most of his life. So I just know that because of his desires for me, that a child would have happened regardless. It happened twice in 1 year. Like, he kept showing up in my life. Even when he wasn't being a good person in our relationship, he still pursued me. Looking back on it, still pursued me. It takes a lot of maturity, and it takes a lot to say, okay, this was going to happen regardless. This happened. It takes a lot of maturity to say this happened, and I'm going to take accountability for it. It takes a lot of maturity to let go of bitterness and anger and confusion. It takes a lot, and it took a lot of time for me to be at this place in my life where I'm like, it is what it is. It is what it is, and I'm just going to give this baby girl the best life that she can have. You're not a good person. You've done this and that and that and that. I'm just going to handle my responsibilities. I'm going to give it to God. Make sure this child has a good childhood. Make sure that this child has at least good core memories with me. I started watching Scandal. Last month, I started watching Scandal. Either October or September, I started watching Scandal. So good. With Kerry Washington. Yes, I started watching Scandal. And I think I got to season 2. The character on that show, Melanie, she was raped by Fitz's father. So she was raped by her children's grandfather. And Melly spent years just sucking this up, doing the best for her kids, right? But there came a time in Melly's life where she could no longer raise her kids anymore, and she just sent them to boarding school. She still loved her kids, loved them, but she could not deal with raising them or being around them due to the fact that first she was confused if the children were actually the father's or not, and she was having a hard time raising them because of her own trauma. we do a lot of covering up, we do a lot of sucking up as mothers for our love of our children and for our love of our children's fathers. We do a lot of giving grace. We do a lot of staying low key, staying quiet, staying calm for the sake of our children and for the sake of our relationship with our child's father. We do a lot of it. And it's crazy. I just had this epiphany the other day because I just started watching Scandal. I'm like, wow. And then I started talking to my friend about this, and I brought that up, and she was like, wow. And we just kind of talked about it. But I just feel like I'm in the place in my life where I'm okay with taking accountability for someone loving me and hurting me, because I'm going to get out of it. And this is not where my story ends. It's not. And my child will still have an amazing future, even though she was brought into a dysfunctional family. The same way that I was brought into a dysfunctional family and still am happy and I found amazing, fulfilling relationships. The same thing for my children. And maybe in the future, I will have my kingdom husband, my kingdom wife, my kingdom marriage, my relationship where I'm so happy and content with my life that I actually am okay with bringing it to YouTube, you know? I'm content. I've been at peace. And I know it's been the strength of God to not bitter my heart. There's still times that I feel anger, I feel sadness, that I get depressed, but I'm okay. I am okay. And I realized that the situation could have been worse. Instead of me being molested as a child by my child's father, he could have seriously been like raping me and beating me and causing bruises on my skin. You know, it could have been a more hurtful experience rather than loving experience. And even though I didn't have a family to talk to about my trauma, then about being abused, I found them now. I found my people now. And it took me a long time too, y'all, to realize that I was sexually abused. It took me a long time to realize what one person did to me in my childhood really messed up my head. And that's why I was the way I was. It took me a long time to make those connections, like, yeah. And that's a testimony in itself, y'all. That's a testimony in itself. And that's a big testimony in itself. Not the whole thing, but a piece of my testimony. But a normal part of my reality, an accepted part of my reality. I go to meetings every week for sexual abuse survivors, and we talk about our traumas. We talk about our coping mechanisms and our coping skills. It's a really, really good group. And I see a certified sexual trauma therapist from time to time while I'm on the waiting list to see a therapist for my sexual trauma. And I have many books that have been so healing for me as a sexual abuse survivor that is raising a child. Not only raising a child, but raising a child by my abuser. Yeah. I feel like I know when I talk about it now, it's probably just words to you guys. And you guys aren't able to see the depth of my healing journey and the depth. You guys weren't there with me when it was just me and God. Oh my gosh. You guys were not there. I'm obviously looking at everything with hindsight and with a very mature mindset, but it's not easy. It ain't easy. And I know that I'm not the only one. There have been plenty of families that have a lot in their closet. There are a lot of families that have so much in their closet. And there are plenty of families with skeletons and secrets and stuff. I just don't feel the need to keep my trauma a secret. I don't feel the need to keep it a secret. I think this is the first time I'm actively talking about it on my channel. But I've been really open about it on my TikTok and on my Instagram and TikTok for sure. I'm also in a few other groups. I do a group for discipleship that I paid $70 something for, y'all. I paid $70 to be a freaking disciple. I paid $70 to be a disciple, y'all. And I put in work, hours of work, and hours of homework to be in the group and stay in the group and get the notes and get the study. What else do I do? I'm in a group for trauma dumping. Yeah, I started that group. It's going good, but it don't compare to the other group. I did start my classes for becoming a social worker, and then now I'm taking another break. and I'll probably take a 2 year, a gap year. I'll take a gap year, and then I'll probably get back to studying to be a social worker, or maybe I'll choose another major. I don't even know. I just feel like I need to be happy, and I need to focus on other things in my life. Trying to balance motherhood and being a student was a lot. And I mean, I'm 24 now, so I still have my whole life ahead of me. I don't have to build Rome in a day. And making sure that my child is loved and nurtured and cared for while she's still young is one of the most important things to me. And allowing myself to be in a place of well-being is very important to me. I think it's time for me to once again find happiness, find well-being, while I can. Find my passions, build my passions, and take it easy while I can. Depression is debilitating. Being a survivor of sexual abuse and being a survivor of domestic violence is deliberating, and it's exhausting. It's healing from old wounds is a lot of work in itself. So yeah, just taking it easy has been my vibe. It's been my vibe. As long as I'm happy, as long as I'm well, and I'm taking care of myself, that is the only thing that matters in this season. And technically right now I'm living my life with a disability. Even though it's high functioning, it's still a disability. I know I'm gonna have some good things to talk to you guys about next month, because I have an x-ray this week, and I have what is it called? I have a CAT scan coming up this week. And I might have to get back to physical therapy. That's something else I didn't tell you guys about yet. I was doing physical therapy for a little bit to heal certain parts of my body. Don't really feel like going into detail about that yet, but I think I have to go back to physical therapy. And I think I need to focus on my physical health once again, and I need to focus on my emotional well-being as well. I'm not disabled, but it's like a high functional disability thing, and that's something that I haven't processed yet. Obviously, you guys might be able to tell, so I think when I process that, I'll come back to you guys with a little more. I'm trying to think if is there anything else I want to update you guys on. Yeah, I did physical therapy for about 2 weeks and then I quit, like 2 to 3 weeks. But I quit because I didn't like it. I didn't like it, so I quit. And then, but yeah, yeah, I quit. That was really, really negative. That was really bad of me to quit physical therapy like that. I was like, I'm out. Peace. Yikes. But health is wealth, not just mental health. I also am in the midst of, you know, building my body, getting my body back. I let myself go for a few years while I was battling major depression. I let myself go physically so I could put on my big girl panties. And I'm now back into the groove of trying to fix myself physically and grow my hair back, because I did cut my hair. You guys can't see because I have my scarf on right now, but I cut my hair in 2020. In 2020, I've been my hair has been short. It's been a buzz cut for the last few years, but I'm in the midst of growing my short hair back, and I'm in the midst of just fixing myself physically. But that's not to say that I don't love how I am. That's not to say I don't love my physique and stuff now. I just like very confident in myself. I love myself no matter what body type I am, no matter what era in my life I'm in. Like, I love myself fully. I give myself a lot of grace. I love myself, period. Not insecure at all. But there are pieces of me that I left during different chapters of my life that I want to get back. And that's okay. I'm allowed to do that. So, yeah. Oh, I have a breast reduction surgery coming up soon in a few years. I thought it would be a good idea to get it done this year, but it's not a good time to get a breast reduction, because in order to get a breast reduction, I need about 6 weeks of rest and 6 weeks of not lifting and 6 weeks of bed rest and whatnot. So let me tell y'all, it'd be a lot. It'd be a lot. But I have it figured out, and it's just a matter of timing. Like, I have so many different playlists in my life and categories in my life, but it's about figuring out when to give that era in my life or that playlist in my life my energy. All right, y'all. My daughter is riding her bike in the house again, I think. Well, it's a beautiful day. I think now that I've done this life update and we kind of got to chit chat about my situation and what I'm going through, I think my next step is to go outside and enjoy the day with my daughter. And maybe I'll be able to vlog today. I won't do a sit down video. I'll be outside and I'll film some content for you guys so you guys can keep up with my life and what's going on and what we're doing day to day and what I'm doing day to day. I haven't vlogged in a few weeks and I'm sorry about that. Hopefully I'll be able to get to I'll be able to get back to that chapter in my life. I've been really, really out of touch and I've been really lacking my motivation to vlog because of I've been in a dark place again. But hopefully I'll be able to get out of that dark place this week, next week, next month. Next month is December, which is Vlogmas, and I would love to be able to participate in Vlogmas this year. So I pray that this dark space will release itself so that I can enjoy my life. Thank you guys for tuning into my channel again. Thank you guys for doing another sit down video with me. Thank you for keeping up with my life updates and for watching this life update. I hope that it was informative and I hope that maybe it was helpful. I know there's a lot of people out there that will love to understand me and get to know me, and I hope that this will suffice for this month because that's all I got in me. That is, and I have a little bit of a cold right now too, y'all, so I did the best I can with this month's life update. If you haven't checked out my last one, go watch it. Remember to subscribe, leave a positive comment for me. I love you guys so much. Okay, bye. See you in the next video.